This is just my opinion. Really, it's just my opinion. But why do Nigerians stigmatize people that are very different or any form of difference? Why do we like herd mentality? Hello guys, welcome back to Madness in Nigeria Living, and I'm your host Jesse. See, when it comes to this difference and stigmatizing different people here, the question is, why do we do it? First of all, it's not a unique thing to Nigeria, but in the context of Nigeria, it's a very interesting thing. And trying to understand the why is one of the most fascinating journey I've been through. One thing was, I asked a couple of people, about 30 people, their thought on this topic. It led me to first subject, which is low self-esteem, the way we are brought up, rigidity, and our sense of caution. Let me start with our sense of caution. We don't question. We don't like to question our customs. The only way we even question our customs is if science or the Western world helps us question it. So something like, we thought the earth was flat, science told us it's not flat, so we know it's not flat. But for the actual day-to-day, our actual ethical viewpoint, we try not to question it. We leave it as it is. We understand that in Nigeria, this is how we do something and never question it. That's how it is. The craziest part about that was when I was in school in my year one, they gave us a physics assignment. And in the physics assignment, it was a very simple question. So I did the assignment myself. I'm not really brilliant, but when it comes to simple physics, yes, year one physics, of course. Then when I was about to submit the assignment, I saw that a lot of people were copying answers from the upper level tutorial master that gave them answers. And when I went through the answers, it was obviously wrong. But someone said something that was very fascinating. It's like, this is how they do it in photo. I went to photo, by the way. This is how they do it in photo. So this is how they are doing it. It's going to copy. It doesn't care if it's right or wrong, but if everybody is doing it that way, this is how I will do it. That culture is what gives us our herd mentality. We do it how everybody is doing it, how everybody has always done it, and that's what leads to the rigidity. I'll talk about rigidity last. I want to talk about the way we were brought up. Think about it here. If this didn't happen to you, how many people you know that it happened to? Your parents beat you, your guardian beat you, and they tell you to keep quiet and not cry. Or you ask them a lot of questions when they are back from work. Maybe they were frustrated and they beat you. What does that teach you? Not to question, not to express your actual thought. Because when you question, you might get beaten. When you cry when they beat you, you're expressing. They are beating you more to stop crying. So you stop expressing. And that's why a lot of Nigerians, we try not to stand out. We try not to be too confident. We try to just sort of follow the mood. And it all comes from the fact that we grew up in this kind of environment. We grew up in the kind of place that self-expression was not cultivated from a young age. It just was kid, was strive for that. Now we're here. We have learned to just be the way we are. The other thing I want to talk about here is low self-esteem. So one thing is, in Nigeria, we don't like arrogant people. We don't like pride. That's why every other day you see people dragging Burna Boy, because we feel Burna Boy is too arrogant. But the truth is, we somehow can't tell the difference between being confident and being proud. So we just lump everything together. When you are confident in what you know, you come off as arrogant inherently. You come off as proud, and we don't like that. We hate that for you, and that's why people stigmatize you. People look at you funny. People treat you differently. People treat you badly, especially if they have way more power than you. So if you walk into an office looking all arrogant, they find a way to humble you because they have to humble you. We like that false sense of humility, that false sense of humble. And that is how we use to shape everybody to behave a particular kind of way. Don't stand out. They don't stand out in the sense of don't be prideful, don't be arrogant. Also translates to don't stand out in any other thing. Meaning, don't dress differently, don't listen to different type of music, don't have a different viewpoint. Especially, do not have a different viewpoint. And it's worse when you see that our way of learning how to not have a different viewpoint is shaped into every system we have. Our schooling, our religion, our culture, which brings me back to rigidity. Our culture is not self-correcting. Our viewpoint in life is not self-correcting. And that's why when you see people critique the government, critique the way we do politics, everybody will tell you this is how it has always been. We don't see democracy as a self-correcting mechanism, which is the only reason democracy is even better than totalitarianism. Is the fact that democracy is self-correct, but our own democracy do not self-correct. And it's not a problem of democracy, it's a problem of Nigeria. We like the sense of rigidity. We think this is how it has always been, this is how it will always be. Why should I be the one to change it? You had lecturers that were wicked, you become a lecturer, you become wicked. There was a lecturer of Mr. Okafo, and he said the reason he became as wicked as he is was when he was in school, his own lecturer gave him an assignment. He went to submit it in the man's office. The man was in a story building, dropped his pen and told him to help him go and pick the pen. On his way down, he saw his assignment being torn and thrown down. So he immediately said if he ever becomes a lecturer, he will do the same. That was the worst lecturer I had in school. Very wicked person. But that's the mindset. It's a keep it the way it has always been. It's why you see people complain about boarding school today on Twitter, and you see people that say, oh, these new kids, these Gen Alpha kids are spoiled brats. They don't know how to go with the flow of bullies. Because what we consider normal in the sense of when we're in boarding school is really bullying, violent way to discipline people. And now that this new generation is questioning it, we feel like they are just spoiled brats. This is not how it is. We like the sense of rigidity. The question is, our love for rigidity, is it because we see rigidity as a way of stability? Is it because we hate the idea of change so much, or is it a mesh of many other things? I don't think I have the answers to that. But I do think, in a way, it combines the sense of stability. If you know it's always like this, you can predict it will be like this tomorrow. And that sense gives a false sense of control, a false sense of order. But it stifles growth. Because if we want to maintain a system that is not working for us, even though the system is not working for us, just because the system is all we have ever known, we can't grow. And that's why we're seeing decay all over Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria is not working because in one hand, we love rigidity. We don't like to question. We don't like to change what we have always known. We know the police will ask for money in the road. We don't question why it's being asked. We know this is how it is. We know this is how it will be. We just work with it. And that's it, guys. Thanks again for the support. I love that you guys still come back here after 4 weeks of break. And the main thing was my laptop was bad and I was very busy. But now I'm back. See you again next 2 weeks. Now I'm not like bi-weekly thing. See you again next 2 weeks. If you like what I did here, just like, subscribe, comment, and tell people about this. We're back, we're bubbling, and this is it. The next thing I want to talk about is, what was the other things I said? I mentioned 4 things already. Rigidity, I said I will talk about that. Culture, I spoke about it first. Self-expression, from the way we grow up, self-esteem.